Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this fun little card using the All Aflutter stamp set and coordinating punch that comes in a money-saving bundle. And of course our new 2026 in color Golden Glow. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. Okay, I'm going to start with my stamping for this project, and I wanted to show you our new magnetic ink pads. This happens to be our in color for 2026 and is the Golden Glow. I wanted to show you quickly how I've labeled it. You have 4 labels to use on the bottom, 2 English and 2 one in German and 1 in French. So I've added the Golden Glow to the bottom like I would normally do, and then when I open the case I've got the English version on my portion that I can mix and use as a palette for my ink. And on the ink pad itself, since the top of it is clearly identified, I just wanted a band of color so that I knew at a glance what color I was reaching for when I put my ink onto my stamp. And that happens to be the German version. So I'm going to set this to the side here. I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper, and I am going to ink up my solid image. Now these pads are really juicy, so if you're not getting complete color coverage on your butterflies, you want to be able to condition your stamp either with an eraser, a pair of jeans. Adding Versamark will help it grab the ink better. And I'm going to tilt this a little bit because I'm looking at my ink, my punch, and I want to be able to punch it easily. And when I line it up, I want it so that the butterfly is a little bit more so towards the corner, like so. 1, 2, 3, lift, and I've got my image there. And since I'm going to be doing the 2-step, I'm okay with that. And I'm using the stamp off method so that it's a little lighter and these beautiful details show. I'm going to bring my detail image in, line it up carefully, and stamp. Now you might find that doing the detail image first allows you to line up easy compared to doing it this way. So you just have to try and see what works best for you. I'm going to slide this into my punch, and I didn't bring it close enough to the corner, so I'm going to cut that off. Line it up and punch my butterflies. There we go. And I'm going to set those to the side and then do my sentiment. So I'm going to bring that cardstock back. I'm going to ink it up with my basic black and stamp. I'm going to bring in my 2-inch circle punch here, and I am going to stamp that like so. I guess I should have said punch that. And then I'm going to bring in my inside panel here, and I'm going to ink up my little butterflies. Once again, I'm going to stamp off for a lighter look, and I'm just going to add that right there on the side. Oops, I don't like the way that looked, so I'm going to flip that over and try again. I love the fact that our white is thick enough that I can do that. So there you go. Remember, it's juicy right now. You might have to take some of the ink off depending on the humidity in your area. It's raining here today, so I'm really quite juicy. To close your pad, you're going to simply flip it over. For assembly, I'm going to bring in my basic black cardstock base and score it on the score line. Fold it on the score line. Having a hard time talking today. And then I'm going to take my designer series paper, and this happens to be our pattern pack of solid. This happens to be our pattern pack of a complete color family, and this happens to be the in colors for 2026. And I think you're really going to enjoy these fun, whimsical patterns. You get 4 different patterns in the package, and they're 12 by 12 this year, which has me excited. I love the versatility that we get with 12 by 12. You can always cut it down to 6 by 6 if that's your preference for storage. I've got my designer series paper added here to the card front, and I'm ready to add my ribbon. So I'm going to take my ribbon and fold it in half, like so. Now at this point I can either add my adhesive for tacking onto the back of my circle, or I can add it here, whichever you prefer. I'm going to offset my circle a little bit, so you want to make sure that you're looking at this the way you're going to have the ribbon. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add my adhesive right here, and I'm using our Stamp and Seal for that. And then I'm going to take this and simply set it onto the ribbon like so, making sure I tack it into that adhesive. I've got that finished. I'm going to slide this over just slightly. There we go. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Dimensionals. Now this will help that ribbon hold in place also, and it will adhere it to my card front. And I wanted this popped up to give it a little bit of depth and shadow. I think you're really going to love this ribbon. It's got a nice feel to it, and it's got a beautiful satin edge, which is a nice detail and gives you almost a rich two-tone effect. I'm going to take my ribbon here, tilt it a little bit, and add it to my card front like so. And then I'm going to bring in my mini dimensionals because I want to add my butterflies, but I want them off my little panel somewhat. So in order to do that, I want to add adhesive to one wing and a Stampin' Dimensional mini to the other wing to pop it up. And that makes it the same height as my circle. Let's see, I'm going to do this one next, so I'm going to add adhesive to the wing that's touching that circle and another mini to the wing that won't be. And I'm going to adhere that right down like so. And then for my last butterfly, I think I'm just going to add them flat onto my card. Like so. At this point I'm going to add some gems, and we've got these lovely in color dots. There's all 5 colors in this package, and there's both large and small. So I'm going to take my large and add it here. I'm going to take a small one and add it towards the top. And then I'm going to take another small one. I think I'm going to add it, below the butterfly here, which kind of mimics my dots on that Designer Series paper. I can either adhere my panel on the inside or simply rest it on the inside where I can stamp or write my note on it later. So there you go, a quick and easy card using our beautiful in color Golden Glow for 2026 and the All Aflutter bundle of products found in our May-August mini catalog. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.